This is fully installed with 6 psi in each tire. We are 18 days away from Mud Bash, and we are doing some things to try and get the four-wheeler ready to go. This is her current state. She is up on jacks. We are getting ready to install the 34-inch TERACHE Aztecs. I do have some concerns, basically being that they were a very big tire. Huge, honestly, for a 34. That gap right there between here and here is probably my number one concern. I'm not as concerned with the left and right because if I need to, which I don't think I'm going to need to, but I still have the original S3 steering stop that I never used because I was able to turn pretty easily left and right. So if I need it, I can install that for the front. I think I'm not going to have any clearance issues, to be honest with you. But time will tell. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to install these on those rims there. And I'm going to show you exactly what the clearances are done when I'm done. All right, just to be fully transparent, I did a whole thing on these things on my socials about what they weigh, how much bigger they are, how wide they are. So just some quick specs. The new 34-inch TERACHEs are 48.8 pounds, which is 3 pounds lighter than these guys when I first put them on. So lighter tire. It's not quite as wide. These measure about 8 3/4 inches wide, which is, I'm losing just a little bit of width. That's actually good, especially when I'm trying to break clearance here. Lugs are probably, I think those are running around 2.5 inches in the center, 3.5 inches on the outside, which is a much bigger lug. For these, should be a really good in the deep, thick stuff. But if you want to know a full detailed breakdown on those tires, go check out all of our other socials, Facebook, TikTok. When I first got the tires, I did a full review, compared them next to these. That's not what this video is about. This video is about clearance and how they actually fit and look on the Gen 3. So let me start swapping these out. I'm gonna do some brakes, I'm gonna do a bunch of other stuff. Let's go. All right, so I am currently on my last rim now. I want to show you guys some tips and tricks in case you've never done this before. All right, so I think the most imperative thing with the beadlock is to make sure you get the inner and outer rim as clean as possible. You don't want any debris in there. I haven't cleaned this one yet. That's just what I'm telling you to do here. Make sure you go through with a bristle brush, clean out all your holes here. I do the same thing. I take and I soak the bolts in WD-40 before I put them in and make sure they're nice and clean. Your most important thing is your mating surface. You always want to make sure your mating surface is as clean as possible, including the back of the beadlock ring. See how much crap's built up on there? You need that good seal to make sure that you're not going to leak any air. I never leak any air on my beadlocks, and I think it's all due to prep. Don't rush it. I know we're all excited, but make sure you take your time prepping your beadlock rim. These are going to be due for a powder coat here before too long, but I beat the crap out of it, so I don't really see the point in all that. I guess you can't call it a build until you've powder coated the whole thing, so maybe we'll get it powder coated, we'll see. All right, another little trick of the trade, a lot of these rims have this bead lip right here to stop the bead from backing out. It can always be a pain to try and get a rim and tire over this bead right here, so what I usually do is I put a thin coat of WD around that bead like that, and it allows the tire to pop over. It'll all eventually evaporate, and at least you can get your rim on. It stops you from having to use a ridiculous amount of air. Scary part. Try never to go over 36 pounds. Scares the fuck out of you every time. Anyway, so there goes that. Now the bead's set on the opposite side. Now we gotta hair it back down. Alright. Here she is. She is all done. Turned out a lot better than I thought it would. I wasn't real sure about the rubbing or anything like that, but this is fully installed with 6 psi in each tire. I did keep it high for a little bit just to make sure the beadlock's held up, but clearances are way better than I thought they would be. The only place I get any sort of rubbing, this is after riding it for a little while, over things, jumping things, bouncing it around. The only place I get any rubbing is right there, like literally like right there on that little nub right there where the pop rivet sticks out. And it's only at like full lock. Like I have to have, no kidding, have the bars cranked and held with some compression to be able to touch it at all. But that's literally it. And it's so minimal. I'm not going to run the S3 steering stop. I thought I might have to put that in there, but I still am able to maintain my full turning radius. And like I said, the rub's so minimal that I'm not worried about it at all. In the back, I got plenty of clearance too. I was thinking I might rub there, but as you can see, I probably got about an inch or so. I am going to put a 30 millimeter spacer, TERACHE sending some out, just to square the tires up. You couldn't tell as much with the Outlaw Maxes, but you can definitely tell with these that it's not 100% square. But they're going to send them out. They should be here maybe tomorrow. I'm going to put a 30 millimeter spacer just to square everything up perfectly fine. But all in all, very happy with how this thing turned out. It looks killer. It's sitting super high. And just some quick specs for you guys, because I know people haven't, not everybody's watched our reels on Facebook or TikTok or anything like that, but these tires are sitting at about 48.8 pounds. Put them on the scale. These were right around 51 pounds. So I've actually lost some weight here going with a bigger tire. They're about 1.5 inches bigger. If you do have a minute, go ahead and check out those socials that I did this video on, because it breaks down the tires when I first got them. I do the weights. I do a true measurement on them. I do all that kind of stuff. They do sit right now as they are. They measure exactly about 34.1, I would say. 34 and a 16th, 34 and an 8th, somewhere right around there. They're measuring a true 34, which is really nice. And that's with just 5 PSI in them, 6 PSI, sorry. They're about 8 3/4 inches wide, which is a little bit skinnier than the Outlaw. Let's see. I didn't weigh the rim and tire combo, but I'm big on beadlocks, and I did put an 18-inch beadlock. I think you could do just fine with these tires. It's got a really nice recessed bead on it. I don't think you ever have to worry about them slipping off or popping off when you're riding it. But I like to run a beadlock. Been there, done that. It's a quick way to ruin a weekend and a time, having the tire pop off the bead. So I run these 18-inch beadlocks. I know they're a little bit heavier, but especially with that TERACHE gear reduction that I got sitting right over here, I'm going to put that in probably tonight. But then a gear reduction rate. Why do we run a gear reduction? For me, more than anything, I know it provides a lot more torque, but for me, it's savior of parts, right? Anything after those gear reduction, you're going to save a lot of wear on parts, extra strain that's on parts that wouldn't be. That helps take it out. That's why people are able to run portals with such big tires and stuff, is because a gear reduction really reduces the wear and the fatigue on the parts. So that's one of the main reasons I'm very excited about running it. Yeah, having a ridiculous amount of torque is going to be awesome too. You might lose a little top end, but I'll trade that for torque. I mean, being able to just stand this thing up like no problem is going to be sick. 20% gear reduction is a lot for something with this kind of power. So 7 and up to a 34, I'll have little to no power loss, especially with that gear reduction. I could run it just fine the way it is right now with the Monsters of the North tune and the clutch kit, the Dalton clutch kit. That Dalton clutch kit does really good at grabbing the belt. But I think this gear reduction is really going to be the part that tops the cake on it. If you guys remember Jared's Renegade, the one that's in most of our videos, we put a gear reduction in his transmission. We did the 6x6 gearbox in his Renegade, and that thing stands right up. It's got all the torque in the world. I've never seen it not be able to spin the tires. So, and I think that's a 30% gear reduction, so this 20% should be money. It should be just literally exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not much of a skimmer. You'd probably be in high to skim if you had that gear reduction in. I'm not much of a skimmer. I really like to just bang ditches, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not really one to care about my top end speed-wise. I'd rather have it be low-end, sick grunt. But Let's see here. There's a picture of the ground clearance and what it looks like. This is our 4.3 offset rim, by the way, which is, I think that really allows me to have an ample amount of clearance. See, like this side hasn't ever even rubbed. It's just the other side that's rubbed. And it rubs, I mean, the tiniest little amount. You have to really try to make it rub. But I wanted to make sure I was giving an honest feedback to you guys. We can check gear, not gear, let's go ahead and check clearance numbers. I know some people are interested in that, so let's take and see what we get for ground clearance.
We are sitting at perfectly square to the bottom of the skid place. I would say about 19 1/4. We'll check some other spots. Yeah, 19 1/4 there. I'll check the front.
So at my lowest point on the machine, which is like where my skid plate bops down just a tiniest little bit, I'm sitting right around, I would say 18 3/4. Everywhere else I looked was about 19 1/4. So that just won that one low spot to my absolute lowest spot. I'm at 18 3/4, but I would say it's safe to say she's sitting right around 19 inches of ground clearance, which is pretty good, pretty substantial. You can tell just by kind of looking at it. She sits up really high. I really like it. Like I said, it doesn't feel any different. What you want to talk about the ride? The ride's really nice. It seems to sit on this center tread. There's very little vibration at all. And any that vibration you do have goes away when you get up to about 3 to 5 miles an hour, and then it's smooth sailing all the way. But there's very little vibration, a lot less than these guys right here, these Outlaw Maxes. There's way less vibration than those. And like I said, I'm sitting at 6 PSI, all 4 corners. So I'm very happy with the way it rides. That was something I was a little bit concerned about. Really can't wait to test them out. I really want to try them and see what how they do in the mud, right? So I know that Christian rode them this weekend on his Talon, and he said he got 2 first place finishes already. So he's in heaven. He loves them. He thinks they're great tires. I can't wait to see what they do on the Gen 3 with all the power. Sorry, I'm sick, guys, but yeah. So anyway, I got a bunch of people coming over, smoking some ribs tonight. Sorry it took me so long to get this video out to you guys, but I can't afford to talk super long today. But ask me any questions you want in the comments or anything you want to see in particular, and I will get back to you guys when I get the chance. You know what I know. More to come.